guys, welcome to my video. This week I thought I would do something nice and simple. Now that is a list of my favourite games of the year. There have been a lot of games this year, and to be honest they've all been absolute crackers really. The only disappointment I've had was with Hitman Absolution, so that will not make the list. But let's have a look. What are my top 12 games of 2012? In at number 12 is Assassin's Creed 3. Now, Assassin's Creed 3 is an absolutely fantastic game. The single player isn't quite what we'd hoped and isn't quite as fun for what we hoped. It's pretty much more of the same but just set in the forest really. But it's the multiplayer that really sets it apart from other games. It's a refinement of what was in Brotherhood and Revelations, and it's just a fantastic game to play, and that's why it makes my number 12. In at number 11 is Dishonored. Now, Dishonored is a game where you have absolute player freedom, and it's really nice to see some innovation. If I was going to give Innovation of the Year, it would have to be to Dishonored. Now, I'm not really sure why it was, but I didn't quite click and connect with this game as much as other people did. I really wanted to, but it is a great game and I did enjoy playing it, but just not as much as other people. But it easily makes my 11. In at number 10 is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Now, I do like Black Ops 2. Wasn't really a big fan of Modern Warfare 3. Call of Duty is just a bit of a laugh really, and it totally succeeds at being there. It's a game you can just pick up and play. Actually is a great PC port, and is one that you can be guaranteed you're going to get your money's worth from. Some people say Call of Duty can't change, and until it's engine, I think they're true, but it easily makes my number 10. In at number 9 is Diablo 3. Now, Diablo 3, for some was a disappointment. For some, wasn't quite what they'd waited all those years to be. But for me, it was a great bit of fun. It's a fantastic dungeon crawler, its PC settings are very good, and it plays really, really well. Now, the only real disappointment is with the always online DRM. But if you want a game that you can play for quite a lot of hours, has a good story, and you can just pick up and play, Diablo 3 is one of those games. In at number 8, it's Sleeping Dogs. Now, Sleeping Dogs is one of my favourite games of the year. It plays so well. It puts emphasis on close combat rather than just gunplay like other games, and the graphics are astounding. It's set in Hong Kong and the game is by far the most beautiful game of the year. It's just so fantastic to play. It's a bit of a laugh, and it's just a shame that it just lacks that little bit of an edge. In at number 7, it's Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Now, this was my biggest surprise of the year, really. It is a game that I've just really enjoyed. It's separated itself from other games like Skyrim and Dark Souls and other RPGs, just for being a bit light-hearted and just a bit of a laugh, really. Combat's really cartoony, but it's really satisfying, and if you haven't played it, then you really should give it a good go, because it's a great game. In at number 6, it's Formula 1 2012. Now, this isn't going to be for everybody, but if you have any interest in Formula 1, you really need to give this game a go. The Codemasters have done such a great job on this game. It plays so nicely, and the level of detail on it is phenomenal. I mean, I'm a big fan of Formula 1 myself, and I can't think of any game I'd rather play as a Formula 1 fan than Formula 1 2012. Absolutely fantastic. In at number 5, it's Max Payne 3. Now, I have to say that Max Payne 2 was one of my all-time favourite games, and Max Payne 3 doesn't fail to deliver. It's got a great story, it's really fun, and the graphics are easily the most efficient of the year, and by that I mean it looks fantastic and you get a great frame rate from it. It's not quite as good as the others, but easily it makes my number 5 on the list. In at number 4, it's Mass Effect 3. Now, Mass Effect 3 could have been my game of the year. It plays well, the story is absolutely fantastic, and you always get a great attachment to the characters. Of course, there was the problem with the ending, and there are some other problems, just because it's not as good as the first or second one. But it's a great game nonetheless, and you really should give it a go. In at number 3, it's XCOM Enemy Unknown. Now, I never played the original XCOM, but this game makes me wish that I had. it really teaches you to get attached to your characters. You've got to be careful. You can't just send your troops out and be stupid with them. It teaches you to be careful, and it teaches you to value what you've got. It's a fantastic strategy game, and if you haven't played it, then you really need to give it a go. Easily makes number 3 on the list. Number 2 is Dark Souls. Now, Dark Souls should have been my game of the year. It's a fantastic game. The gameplay is second to none. There's no game that has better gameplay, in my opinion, than Dark Souls. It could have easily been the game of the last 5 or so years, but only an absolutely shockingly poor PC port lets it down. Luckily enough, there are people modding it and making it a lot better. But if you haven't played Dark Souls, you really need to give it a go. Now, my game of the year, without a doubt, is Far Cry 3. Now, I was a massive fan of Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2 is still my favourite game of this generation. And Far Cry 3 builds on it, and boy does it deliver. The player freedom you have is incredible. You can do exactly what you want. You can be stealthy, you can go just mental with your guns. The graphics look great, the PC port is fantastic, and I couldn't ask for a better game this year. Far Cry 3, I don't really think there's a way it's going to impress me more. There's so much to do, the story is absolutely fantastic, and if you haven't played Far Cry 3, then you really need to, because without a doubt, it is my game of the year. Ubisoft have done a fantastic job, and fitting a story this good into an open world game is an achievement in itself. The characters are amazing. They're absolutely amazing. The gameplay's amazing, and the graphics are amazing. Those 3 make the perfect game. There are 3 other games that didn't make the list for various reasons. Firstly is Smite, the MOBA game, which is fantastic, but it's currently in open beta. Then there's the Portal 2 level editor, which is absolutely amazing, gives you unlimited levels. And lastly, there's the Gods and Kings expansion for Civilization 5. So that was my list of my top 12 games of 2012. Now, assuming we all live past Friday, which if you're watching this after Friday, then obviously we did, but yeah. 2013 has got quite a few good games itself. We've got Company Heroes 2, we've got Tomb Raider, we've got SimCity. There's quite a lot of games coming out next year, so hopefully 2013 can top 2012. But with a game like Far Cry and Dark Souls in 2012, that's going to be very hard to do. So, I will see you next time.